So this has been on my radar for the last couple of months, ever since I covered an article that said that the Xbox will beat the PlayStation 5. Now, one of the reasons that article gave was because Microsoft has Game Pass and Sony does not, and that they're losing revenue because they don't. Now, I'm not 100%, convinced on adding more subscription services, but this would be a smart move for Sony because it would bring in a steady revenue if they do end up going that route, which is what this Bloomberg article says, which is that Sony is planning on releasing a 3-tier subscription service and getting rid of the PlayStation Plus or the PlayStation Now and basically combining them into one service, or at least a 3-tier service. Let's take a look at the article and see what it says. Okay, so according to the article from Bloomberg, PlayStation plans a new service to take on Xbox Game Pass. The subscription offering would blend PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus. The code name for right now is codename Spartacus, which is targeted to launch next spring. So this article came out in early December, so this would mean that this service would come out in spring of 2022. So the service, codenamed Spartacus, will allow PlayStation owners to pay a monthly fee for access to catalog of modern and classic games, said people who asked not to be identified because they weren't authorized to speak to the press about the plans. The offering will likely be available on the smash hit PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. When it launches, expected in the spring, the service will merge Sony's 2 existing subscription plans, PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now. And here the details on Spartacus may still not be finalized, but documentation reviewed by Bloomberg outlines a service with 3 tiers. The first would include existing PlayStation Plus benefits. The second would offer a large catalog of PlayStation 4 and eventually PlayStation 5 games. The third tier would add extended demos, game streaming, and a library of classics like PS1, PS2, PS3, and PSP games. So I guess no PlayStation Vita. I don't understand why the Vita just doesn't get any support. I really don't. So if Sony's planning on merging PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus, I think that's a good move for Sony. I really do. I think that by them merging the services together, it would bring a steady revenue, and I'm pretty sure the service prices will go up. Hopefully for those who just want PlayStation Plus, the prices stay the same at $60 a year, because I would hate for the prices to go a lot higher just to have PlayStation Plus. But for those who want to add PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus, maybe, I believe PlayStation Now is what, $50 a month or something like that, or $60 a month. Let me know in the comments. But hopefully you're not paying $120 for both services, because that would just mean you're paying the same amount you would be paying if you were to have both services now. So hopefully the prices might come down. Maybe you'll save $20 or something like that, hopefully. And instead of it being $120 a year, it ends up being $100 a year. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this comes out. Again, this is all rumored, so things are not finalized and may change and may not change. It may not even be true. I'm not 100% sure. This is just what Bloomberg is saying. But if they're planning on putting PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now together, plus bringing in all these classic games, that's actually a really good move, because it would allow the younger generation to experience games that the older generation grew up with, and it would allow the older generation like me, who actually had the PlayStation 1, to relive some of the PS1 games. Okay, so here's a little quick and dirty PowerPoint that I put together for you guys real quick, based on what the Bloomberg article said and what I think is going to come in these 3-tier services from PlayStation, which I'm thinking it's going to be tier 1 PlayStation Plus, and hopefully the price doesn't go up and it stays where it's at. Tier 2 would have the PlayStation Plus, PlayStation 4 games, and PlayStation 5 games, which I can see that probably going for about maybe $100 a year or something like that. Hopefully not way too much. And then tier 3, which is the PlayStation Plus, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5 and PSP games. It'll also bring the demos and then game streaming also. Now, I'm not 100% sure where these prices are going to be. That article doesn't say. And again, this is all rumored, so it may or may not happen. But I'm thinking, since Sony also acquired, I think it was Crunchyroll a while back ago, maybe they should also include some anime streaming on here. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think. I'm just thinking. But let's compare that to what Xbox Game Pass is. Okay, so Xbox Game Pass for consoles only is $9.99 a month, which gives you play over 100 quality games, new games added all the time, Xbox Game Studio titles, member discounts and deals. Now, I don't have Xbox, so I don't have Game Pass at all. So let me know what you guys think of Game Pass, if it's actually worth it, if it's not worth it. Just let me know what you guys think about it. Now, I'm looking at these prices, and I can see Sony going with something similar. Now, I don't want PlayStation Plus to be $9.99 a month. Just the PlayStation, the tier 1. I don't want that to be $9.99 a month. It shouldn't be $9.99 a month, because that's what, $120 a year. So it's not worth it. I also don't think that the tier 2 for the PlayStation Plus, let me switch back to that. So I also don't think that the tier 2 is worth $9.99 a month. If they can get that down to $100 a month, or not a month, wow, to $100 a year. So if they can get that down to that versus the $9.99 a month, which is $120 a year, I can see the tier 2 going for something like that. Hopefully less. And we'll compare in a second to what the what is it, the Nintendo Switch Online, what they're doing. So hopefully they'll keep it at less than $100 a year. I'm hoping we'll get to the Nintendo, which is what I'm hoping, where they'll stay with tier 2. Now, tier 3, I don't want them to do like Microsoft does with the Ultimate, but then again, you know, they may do it, because we'll switch back here, because at $15 a month, and again, I don't know what Game Pass brings. So if you guys think that the price is worth it, you guys let me know in the comments. I personally don't think that I'm willing to pay $180 a year for games that I physically will not be able to own. That's what I'm thinking. I like to own physical copies of games. And ever since I lost some of my games from when I moved from my parents' house, I have been going back to rebuy and repurchase some of my older games. And it's sad that I don't have my fat PS3 anymore. So I'm playing my PS1 games on my PlayStation 2. And again, my PlayStation 2 games on my PS2. And the reason why I don't have my fat PS3 is because at the time I didn't know that all I needed to do was basically redo a heatsink and add some more thermal paste to it and fix the PlayStation 3. And I took the console into a store to get it fixed. They told me it was going to be $250 to fix it. And I said I could just buy a PlayStation 3 Slim for that price. And that's what I did. I ended up buying the PlayStation 3 Slim for the price. And I ended up throwing out the PlayStation 3 Fat, unfortunately, because again, I stupid and I didn't know at the time that all I needed was thermal paste to fix it. I thought that the console was done for. But you guys can hate on me in the comments for doing that. Long story short, I no longer have it, but I'm still able to play the PlayStation 1 games because I still have my PS2 Fat. But anyway, so let's compare this to the Nintendo membership, because the Nintendo membership, the PlayStation, or not PlayStation, the Sony Switch Online, or Nintendo Switch Online, which right now it brings the NES classics and the Super NES classic games and allows you to play online. But if you get the Nintendo Switch Online Plus, which brings the N64 and the Genesis games and the Animal Crossing expansion, Happy Home Paradise expansion, which I have no need for, but my daughter may. So maybe, because if we look at the memberships, Here I'm looking at the individual. So for 12-month membership, for just the regular online, not the online plus, is $20 a year. And that's just to be able to play online, and it brings the NES classics and the Super NES classics games. And then for an individual, again, for the online plus is $50 a year. And that's a little, to me, that's a little excessive for an individual, because I have a family. This was what I would end up paying, which is $79.99 a month, or not a month, but a year, for the Switch Online. If I were to get, if I wanted N64 games and the Genesis games, which I'm very tempted because I do like to play Genesis games still. But again, I have the classic, the little mini Genesis that I bought when it came out, and that has been working out for me because it's got a lot of the games that I would have played anyways on there. And I haven't had to go back and rebuy the Genesis games because of that, even though I was starting to rebuy the Genesis games, but I don't even have a Sega Genesis to play them on anymore. So I bought a couple of games and then I never bought the system. But anyways, what do you guys think? If you guys are paying for this, you know, the Switch Online Plus, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that it's worth it? Because if it's worth it, to be honest with you, for that tier 2 of the tier 2 of the PlayStation Plus or Project Spartacus, I can see it going for something like that. Tier 2. I definitely don't see tier 1 going for that. I think they need to stay right where the $60 is just for PS Plus. But I can see tier 2 going for about $80 a year. That to me seems like a definite good price to stay around. If this is the way that Sony's looking at doing some sort of Game Pass type deal to compete with Microsoft. Anyways, but let me know, $180 for you know, tier 3, maybe. If you're a hardcore gamer, maybe. If they include anime on there with it, that might be something that I may do. But I'm still iffy on the $180 because just another subscription service to add. Oh man, I don't know. By the way, these are your PlayStation Plus games for January, so make sure you get those: Persona 5, Dirt 5, and Deep Rock Galactic. So don't miss out on those. But let me know what you guys think about this subscription service that Sony's going into, or might be going into. Let me put it on that way: might be going into, and it might be something that we get. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments about everything that was said in this video. And if you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.